All right, good afternoon and welcome everybody to the Go Wellness Practice Accelerator Challenges. This is your host of the afternoon, Cade Archibald, and really excited to be with everybody today. We got the amazing Annie Asher with us here. Annie, how's it going?
Hey, it's going so well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Nice.
Doing great. Yeah, we just went over some sneak peek agenda info on session 3. Really exciting. When is session 3 for everybody? Just so we make sure they got it on their calendar.
Yes, mark your calendars. This is one you will not want to miss. It's going to be September 16th and 17th. The most lovely time in Salt Lake City. The early fall, it's just gorgeous. So make sure you'll be there. We just laid out the 2 days. It's going to be great. We're going to help you move through the whole idea of day 0 to actually designing your program with your patients so you can really understand how that goes. We're going to be pulling out all the stops with the ROF, deep diving into some big hot topics of medical needs today. What else, guys? What am I missing? Marketing, presentations, like
yeah, we'll be taking you through from A to Z how to how to onboard and enroll a patient all the way to how do you actually get that patient better, and we'll take you through all those steps from A to Z. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, so mark your calendars. Let me know if you plan on being there. The sooner the better, but we're really excited. So September 16th and 17th.
Cool. The other thing I'd like to challenge you guys on, if you have any colleagues, any friends that you think could benefit from this, let us know. We'd love to help them out. And yeah, looking for some referrals to come to this upcoming event. It's gonna be awesome. All right, well, let's dive in here, Regan.
Okay, so there's been a couple questions that have come through on a few different things, but one of those is I'm going to use a tool called the time travel experience. One of those is how to prevent burnout, how to think differently. And so we're going to do a little exercise today, and this will go big time into something that I've been immersing myself into, which is the working genius model. And so if you have not done that yet, here is yet another reminder to get that done, because I think it's one of the most important things you can do when you're building culture, building teamwork, and also, understanding yourself a little more. But I'm going to share my screen here and pull up a tool from our last session 3, because one of the things that we do with every session is we say, okay, what worked on the last one? What do we want to keep in there? What do we want to do differently? But this is a tool called the time travel experience. And if you don't have this tool, we can easily send it to you. Should I share this with you, Cade, and you can post it?
Yeah, or send it to Annie and she can put it in the chat box as well as.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll share.
Signal group chat.
Perfect. There it is. So you guys can actually fill this out as we go, but this relates perfectly with the working genius test. And so this is called the time travel experience. So if you guys don't mind, let's go back in time a little bit and let's get our memories going about some of the great things that we've done in the past that allowed us to get to where we are now. So how many of you ever go back in time and you have some great memories that you draw on when you're in a crisis situation, when you feel like things are stuck, they're not moving, and you're like, man, I just feel like I've accomplished nothing in my life. And how many of you have certain experiences that you go back to in the past that allowed you to get to where you are now? So maybe you could, I look back and I say, man, well, I had a really cool experience at my school in Hawaii. I had a great business there, a construction business. And then I really had a great mentor in Dr. Chieko. And I always, I can go back to that and generate a lot of confidence. And then I go back to when I started my practice, 6 month booked out with a waiting list. So it was like, man, very successful right out of the gates. But then that also led to other problems, like how can I expand? And so I look at those times in life and I say, all right, there's a lot of energy I generated from it because I was able to gain a good reputation, and then after that I started building teams, and then I had this great corporate wellness gig with Parker. So I can keep just adding on the layers, and then one of the things I was able to do is partner with Cade, and we started opening more clinics and clinic expansion, and then things just grew from there. We started Go Wellness, and that was awesome. And then I been able to be partnering up with Strategic Coach, created a new tool for Dan. We found Annie's unique genius in her beautiful art. As this was created by Annie, by the way. And so all these things start to create momentum, new partnerships with IPS, and we've got our surgical center where we're doing these advanced procedures, and it's, we had stem cells, and now we got peptides and all these cool things that if you look back, when you feel stuck, you're like, well, man, there's actually been a lot that you've accomplished in your life. So, okay, do you ever do any exercises like that, or is it kind of weird?
I don't think it's kind of weird. I don't do a great job at looking back and really seeing what I've accomplished. A lot of times I'm hanging out in the gap.
Yeah. Explain the gap for people who don't know.
So the gap is looking at what it's using. Typically you're using phrases like I should have or could have. We should be here, but we're only here. And it's discounting that growth that you've had from, we started the year here and we're now here. Our goal is to be here maybe, or this is our end of year goal and we're halfway there. We need to celebrate that and really stay out of the gap and get away from that. Oh man, we should be doing better.
Yeah. I think you know that the shoulds are the words that, you really want to look out for. And, this is a strategic coach concept where Dan Sullivan, he says, the ideal is where we always want to be. And so you'll never get to the ideal, because what happens, kid, any business goal that we've reached, and we've reached some crazy milestones, right? But the next day we're like, okay, what's next? We got to raise.
Not cool anymore. Once you hit it, it's like, all right, we got to double that now.
Yeah, you think of people, Olympic athletes, when they win the gold medal, like the next day, they're like devastated. They have no clue. There's no purpose in their life except, all right, well, I got 4 more years. Let's train and win more medals. But, when athletes retire, it's pretty devastating. And even, one of the reasons we tell you guys, no retirement, we're not, that's a dirty word in Go Wellness. We need to always be adding value. Because most people don't have a bigger future than they had in their past. And so what you can do from your past is you can use these experiences to create a better relationship with yourself. And then from the past, you create confidence in the present moment, which we'll get into the most. So if you think about these jobs you were doing, well, which one gave you the most energy? I could tell you running a construction business and doing a lot of the work myself did not bring me energy. It just paid the bills. So I got rid of that as quickly as possible and try to adhere to that policy. Mentoring with my teacher, that does not give me energy anymore. So I don't do that. Having a 6-month wait list. No. So there's so many things that you say, okay, those jobs stop giving me energy. The ones that gave me the most energy are the creativity, innovation. I love looking at collaboration. I love teaching and create content. All these things give me a lot of energy. And then I also, one of my biggest ones is building community. These are things that now I'm, older, I'm like these are things I always want to be doing. Really important for me, which of these jobs drained your energy? And then I could go through and I could say, well, all of those things I mentioned before, I'd list those out. So go ahead and write yours down. And how many of you have some jobs in the past that you've done that really drained your energy and you had to move on from those? And maybe, share in the chat box, because I think it's really important, because your mental health and how you show up as a doctor, as a provider, your ability to free up your energy is proportional to the amount of care that you can give and the amount of people you can help. So those are it's really important to remember your past, because there's wisdom in it that most people don't go back and look at. And then it makes you a slow learner. And so
that might be the best ever I've heard. Mike Buzzy says, I made toilet seats while in college. That's awesome.
I love that.
Sounds like that's kind of a shitty job.
That's it's important, but shitty. I mean,
very important.
That's funny. Awesome. Oh, you saw one in the Salt Lake Hotel. That's great. A Bemis, however you pronounce it. That's cool. Okay, so let's look at, so now that we've gone and we've explored the past, Mike, you're not making toilet seats. So obviously it didn't give you a lot of energy, or if it did, it just didn't give you enough energy that converted into money. So look at those things and think about those things that drained you, and look at the cool changes you've made and how you've structured your life to do things totally different. Mike, using you for an example, one of the things you've done is, one of the things that was draining your energy for a long time is just always being the only provider to stick needles in people, and having a hard time finding that associate that you could really hand those duties off to. And now you've done that, so now you're freed up, which is really critical. So let's talk about energy generated by your presence. So which job gives you the most energy right now, the things that you're doing? And when I say job, you can put at work, you can put projects, activities, might be better than job, but job implies that thing that you own, that that big thing you're working on. But so mine would be all the things that have given me energy in the past that I learned are also giving me energy in the future. I get a lot of great energy when I start thinking of breakthroughs and medical breakthroughs. You guys saw we had Howard talking about AI. I love the new science that's coming up. I also find that bringing those in and creating programs brings me a lot of energy. And so these are awesome things. So which job right now drains your energy? So you think of those things that drain your energy. For mine, it would be like management. It would be scheduling. Those are the things that drain my energy. Dealing with lawyers is always draining. Now the IRS, things like that, right? So some of these things you got to be careful, because you have to focus energy on them, so they don't, come up and swallow you. So hopefully you guys are getting some things in the present that you really generate energy. Cade, what's generating the most energy for you right now?
Team building.
Yeah.
Got some really cool people joining the team.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I think that's a big one. When we see teams succeed and helping people find their unique genius and working within that is like, it's so fun. I also love seeing, our Go Wellness clients, just having best evers, that it's so cool seeing you guys just accelerate your practice growth and transformation. And that's been really fun. And then you think of the things that are draining. So write those out. And now let's look at the future. And so if you think of the next 90 days and you want to time travel a little bit, because even the present's not really the present, right? It's like, well, this is what I did today, but tomorrow might be a little different. But if you think of what activities give you the most energy 90 days from now, which would those be? And so write those down. Some of mine might be, well, I want to be teaching workshops. for Go Wellness, but also for our East-West clients. I want to be doing marketing with live events. That's going to be something that will be really exhilarating.
Hey everybody, Regan Archibald here. I hope you enjoyed the Go Wellness show and maybe learned a couple things you could apply to your practice. If you're a healthcare entrepreneur who wants to work in an academic think tank with like-minded humans who are just like you, looking to provide better service, better quality of care for your patients, reach us at info@gowellness.com and we're happy to do a free practice analysis for you.